History of stone applied to design, innovation and development. The historical backdrop of stone applied to design is connected to individuals since the start of our occasions. It was an asylum for the ancient man when he lived in caves, expecting from the beginning of our reality its earthly person and understanding it as our association with the earth. The association between the human and the heavenly. The stone empowered an association with another space and some other time, for instance, at the Stonehenge site, assembled around 2500 BC. Those stones were the medium to associate the human and the heavenly, the earth and the stars. They were brought to last unceasingly up on schedule and to be a connection with people in the future. The reverence of the person towards the stone is something that has been a consistent in the entirety of our set of experiences. Today there are a great many speculations about how antiquated human advancements had the option to raise landmarks that were worked with stone without current innovation or modern turn of events. The migration of the stone lintels in Stonehenge in 1959 was a muddled interaction in any event, for current occasions. There are a few secrets to settle. How were those stones lifted 4,500 years prior? How could they be brought to Salisbury from their starting point in South Wales, 250 kilometres from the spot? The control of stone starts with the control of its vehicle. Humanity has never stopped to astonish in its battle for the control, and transport of stone. We discover mysteries in totally different spots and chronicled minutes, from the pyramids worked by the old Egyptians to the moai of Easter Island raised by the Rapa Nui, bringing about an unending number of speculations around these landmarks. Stone consistently was in an unexpected measurement in comparison to man, incapable to shape it or move it just with his hands. Humankind must be innovative to work with stone. Along these lines, mechanical improvement has consistently gone inseparably throughout the entire existence of stone applied to engineering and development. Securing frameworks effectively in the prehistory. The developers of Stonehenge not just utilized innovation to ship and position the stones, yet in addition to bind and hold the stones between one another like joints of wood. Development however adjusted to the stone. This addressed without a doubt a modern method at that point. Mass of the Incas, and mass of the incapable. Leaping to some other time and location, it actually is a central issue how old Incan social orders had the option to accomplish a particularly ideal cutting of stone. A genuine model is the dividers of the old royal residence of the Inca Rocker, in Cuzco. The enormous stones present a sporadic math. A few stones incorporate up to 12 points, making a divider raised uniquely through the fitting of its stones without the utilization of mortars. The ideal position of the stones prompts consistent joints with not even sufficient room for a piece of paper. This plan, as it was a riddle, was totally deliberate to get a seismic safe development. The Andean area has numerous tremors. The Spaniards supplemented this Inca divider from 14 in 17. Their approach to chipping away at the development was not so great, and with the assistance of mortar. Local people call the two distinct parts, mass of the Incas, and mass of the unfit, an account that clarifies very well the legend of the flawlessness of the first divider. History of stone applied to engineering during the Roman Empire. Romans took stone designing to its most significant level. The main common works of olden times were created in the Roman Empire. To talk about Rome is to discuss the divider and the half-circle curve. The wedge-cut stones, the voussoirs of the curve, permitted opening high ranges. Rather than the stone structures utilizing lintel plan, which caused flexion, and in this way the ranges were significantly more restricted, the wedge-cut stone method produced pressure and permitted extensively bigger ranges. Stone in the Middle Ages. It was during the late Middle Ages when the Gothic needed to take the stone and its designing to a more significant level. The energy to be nearer to God and the sky urged to make structures increasingly elevated, slimmer, and more glowing. The curves found in the shaft calculation, likewise called ogival, were an approach to work more productively than that of the half-circle curve and permitted to acquire tallness. The divider lost significance while the huge stained glass windows acquired it. The stone comprised natural structures that were absorbed to trees, shaping columns with ribs, every single one of which climbed to proceed through the curves, establishing ribbed vaults. The high weight of the curves of the basilicas created extraordinary level energies, which were neutralized with braces, and flying supports, to discover balance. Renaissance and Baroque. It permitted to see firsthand how these developments were enunciated, and to examine the design dialects so unadulterated and proportionate which had fallen into obscurity. This correction of old-style design didn't leave to the side the advances in innovation. Probably the best model is the House of God of Florence, Santa Maria del Fiore. Its development started in 1296 by Arnolfo di Cambio, with absolutely Gothic design. There was an extraordinary aspiration to make an immense vault that was difficult to accomplish because of the absence of information. It was Filippo Brunelleschi who, because of the careful investigation of Roman engineering and Gothic stone vaulted frameworks, discovered the arrangement. Brunelleschi proposed an immense pointed vault, internal measurement 45 meters and external breadth 55 meters, in view of the development of Gothic stone curves. Notwithstanding, the gigantic extents and weight constrained him to devise a lightweight arch framework dependent on the blend of various materials to accomplish its legitimate working. Brunelleschi likewise needed to make creative marking and platform frameworks to make the task conceivable. The arrangement comprised in the plan of an arch shaped by a twofold shell. The inward vault was self-supporting. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Life is Often if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.